Hi, everybody. I'm Taylor Ferber,
Hi, everybody. I'm Joe Francis.
and this is Undressed. And today we're going to be talking about something that will change your life. We are undressing AI sex. We're talking VR sex, sex robots, and even AI boyfriends and girlfriends. And I'm just so glad, like, we should all be lucky that we actually got Joe for this brief amount of time today because he has been over here shopping for an AI girlfriend himself. So, Joe, thanks for carving out some time, out of that, away from that
I
endeavor
happen.
to be with us here
Yeah.
at Undress. I mean, wow, it's just so gracious of you.
Well, I mean, I am going to allow, the 40 or so minutes because I do have to get back into, it is Taylor, it is quite the search to
I know it
find
is.
the Mrs. AI Francis. And since there
Mm.
are no problems with other girls and there's no jealousy factor and this is all clean, good fun, I will spend and dedicate the rest of my day and days until the next time we see each other to finding this girlfriend. So
It's a
stay
it's a
tuned.
it's a bold, civic duty, and hats off to you, Joe, for for taking that one on. And it's interesting that you relate, good, clean fun to,
Well,
an
Taylor,
AI girlfriend because, they have actual sex robot sex dolls. And I want to know, Joe, before we get into it here, what would your doll look like?
that's a very interesting question because I would not just have one doll if they were available. It's like I don't have one car, right? Why would I just drive one car? I would have like 20 different models, right? Like, what if you get bored? Um,
Okay.
so probably
I
required to change to some Islam or invent my own new AI religion to where I can have multiple partners, but I will have as many as possible. I think just in case, what if the battery dies? Oh my God, what do you do?
Yeah, I actually thought that you were going for more of it. Like, I don't know if our 23andMe app got a little bit under your skin, like if you ruminated on it and you were just trying to do like a DEI with sex robots, like, one of every, religion, race, and creed. At first, I thought that's where you were kind of going with it, but, you
So,
know,
all right, this is a little unfair. Okay. And Taylor, I have to ask you the
fine.
same question. Okay. Look, because women have essentially, or no, have had since the caveman days, they have had sex robots. And by this, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the vibrator, which
Cavemen had vibrators?
cave
Your math
women,
ain't math.
cave
Your boy math
women,
ain't mathing today.
cave women had vibrators. It goes back that far in archaeological studies. I actually spoke with an archaeologist yesterday randomly, but it goes back that far. And the vibrator has been throughout history as the woman's ultimate pleasure robot. Now, men have nothing of the sort, right? I mean, a while ago, I think there was a product. I know there was a product because the owner called me. Really nice guy. He made other sex toys I did not try, but he did send me a big box of fleshlights. And what these were like a masturbation tool. Never tried it. Looked interesting, but wasn't my thing. But he did send
Sure.
me a bunch of other different toys. But Girls Gone Wild wasn't that close to sex. We didn't want to be in the sex business. We didn't want to be in the sex toy business. So that was somewhere we didn't want to go. But that brings me to my question. What does your African sex toy robot look like, Taylor?
I'm already getting set up 4 minutes in because as this is a straight up trap because as we established in 23andMe, you know that I'm not super into black men, in that way. It's just like not my
Except
flavor. But if
Kanye.
I were to,
We
is
know
he
you're into
too?
Kanye. Except Kanye.
Oh my God, when he wears that swastika t-shirt as a Jew, I mean, it just like turns me on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just masochistic freak.
How
Okay,
could
so
yours
my I know exactly. How could I? My sex doll would be, I mean, I already kind of said this in our last episode, but basically Tom Brady. I feel like, because they make
Tom
them
Brady
that.
again. Oh,
I'm
Jesus.
talking tall. I'm talking ripped. I'm talking dark and handsome. Is this so much to ask? And not, they make sex dolls. They have the audacity to make them with flaccid penises. So I would want like a nice, good size, but not so huge that I have to be in a wheelchair like Terry Crews fight chicks.
Wait, slow down. You're already talking about the dick and you haven't even got, you're talking about penises.
Is that not the point?
What about personality? What about personality?
You know,
What about age?
You're starting to get a little freaky because you're looking for personality out of these lifeless dolls that literally look like a scarecrow. Like I'm thinking
they're not lifeless dolls. That's my point, is the evolution, Taylor. That's what we're talking about here today. AI and the evolution. And these things are moving at the speed of light and far beyond. I mean, this is an evolutionary leap we're in. I mean, we're not talking about the vibrators of cavemen. We're not talking about the vibrators of yesteryear. We're not even talking about your little rabbit in your pocket purse right now. We are talking about real, interactive, artificial.
This is just good old fashioned lipstick. I've seen the little vibrator lipsticks, people. I know you're dirty mind, but wait, I just need to poke a hole in your so-called archaeologist combo yesterday with like Indiana Jones, because you're talking about
but okay.
You were talking about how
it was a woman archaeologist, but that's okay. Can women be archaeologists too?
Indiana Jones in that case. Okay.
DEI.
No, exactly. But I'm just poking a hole in your little story here, because what are we talking about with these cavemen vibrators? Like, are they gyrating on rocks? Like, what are you even saying? And secondly, I would argue, don't hate us that you ain't us because we've had vibrators, but I'm sorry, a lifeless sex
I'm jealous. I'm not hating on you. Or kidding. Toy. I would love if I had just a little thing and then boom, and it came like that, and it was like moved on with my day.
It's a good life. It's a good life. That's why it was 5 minutes late to this Zoom today. Oops, did I say that out loud? No, I'm just kidding. No, am I? Okay. But no, Joe, before we move on, what would your sex doll really look like? Don't give me this whole variety pack, Halloween candy fun size BS. What would your ultimate sex doll look like?
Well, it wouldn't look like a doll, because I couldn't have sex with like an inanimate object that I thought was an inanimate object. Like it would have to be where the evolution is happening. And yeah, people are making fun of, and I think way too early, people are so quick to make fun of the dolls, like from the CES show this year, the 2025 CES, the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. They released a number of sex dolls. Now, historically, and still does, that show, the CES show, has always been held at the exact same time as the adult entertainment show. So they cross over, and the audiences cross over too. It's a great place to tell your wife you're going to Vegas for the Consumer Electronics Show, and then you just happen to be in the same hall as the adult convention. So those two shows have always crossed for forever, since the beginning of time. And they still do. And what's interesting is they're crossing yet again, because every technology, sex has fueled every technology in history, whether it be the still camera, the video, the motion picture camera, the video camera, the VCR, the DVD, the internet. All those solely exist because of sex, because sex.
It's true.
Creates technology and makes people adopt technology for those purposes. Now, if you're going to get to the dolls that my friend Elon is talking about, or let's call them AI girlfriends and boyfriends, like let's not even call them dolls, because I think doll is not a fair word, right? You're going to have real skin. You're going to have pheromones. You're going to have hormones. You're going to have in some cases attitude, which may not, or hopefully there'll be an off button, but
I was just going to ask, what would be,
it starts yelling at you.
It's funny you say that, because I was just going to ask you, why would men, we're going to get to women too, because there are male sex dolls for real that women buy. And that's a whole other argument, is like, is this a type of fetish of the doll itself? But all that to say, Joe, why would what would the perks of a doll over a real life living, breathing person be, until it's as advanced as what it will be inevitably very soon, what you're saying?
Well, for any man that's been through a
He's like, let me use
divorce,
the
a
right.
separation, or a breakup, he can tell you that the 125,000 to 175,000 he will spend on the AI girlfriend replica doll is a lot less than he spent on that relationship and his legal fees to get out of that. So
Wow.
there, right now, if we're just talking like cost benefit, and then the magic of an off button would be just wonderful for all those times, guys, that you just want to chill and, you know, talk to your girlfriend, but not necessarily have her talk back to you. And Taylor, I know you feel the same way.
Oh, whatever. Joe is so full of crap. Dicky,
you didn't even describe your sex doll talking. It doesn't even talk. So you want men not to talk, right?
He's so full of it because we all know. In fact, we even said it before starting this recording. This guy would be so bored with some subservient doormat. Now, his choices have been maybe a little extreme the other way in some regard. We're going to talk about that and dissect that at a later date. But I'm just saying, you and I both know you would be bored in 5 seconds. So you're talking all this talk of like, oh, we could shut them up. Oh, please. You even said it before we hopped on here. You're like, Taylor, you'd be so much easier to control and manage if you were AI. And I said, yeah, you'd be bored. And you were like, facts. So I'm just saying, where is the lie? Would you not be? You would want.
But I think in the next, 3 to 5 years with AI, that becomes interesting because AI knows everything. Remember that knowledge now has no value. Like with AI, with artificial intelligence, knowledge now has become completely worthless, right? So this AI girlfriend, boyfriend, robot, partner will know everything. So it'll be virtually impossible to ever win an argument. And I mean, you'll be able to get lots of information from this. So, and you'll be able to have very interesting conversations, and it'll learn how to manipulate you and be a real person. So yes, would I be bored now if you were AI in its current generation? Yes, but I will rephrase that with an evolution, with a couple of releases, maybe iOS 26.
You know what?
Boom. Bye, Taylor. She's AI now, everybody.
Okay, I'll play AI for 30 seconds. See, I even have the girl. So I'm literally the objectified AI robot. I'll do it for 5 seconds. Let's see how this pans out. Yeah, you're bored. Exactly. You're bored and you're moving on. And you asked if I would want the guy to shut up. Here's what's interesting, because I went on a whole rabbit hole about this. I was watching all of the videos of the sex robot, and it's just so creepy too, like aesthetically. It's literally like, I'm not kidding. They're hanging there like lifeless, like hanging on a clothes hanger. Okay, and this woman, it's true. You're not lying. No, it's so weird. Like, they barely are just now starting to blink, but it's a whole thing. And like how you clean up after, I don't even want to get into those details. Okay. But I watched this video of this reporter on Vice, and she actually is documented having sex with this sex doll, male doll. And she says, this is how everybody's so different. She's like, I like that I could control it and like it couldn't talk. Me, we've established this. I don't want any part of that. I'm trying to be controlled and dominated in the bedroom. Like, toss me around, have me shut up. I'm talking all day. Like, I don't know what this girl is doing, but that is not the move, at least for me with the sex.
But I
would try it though. I would try it. How could you're
try it now? I wouldn't try it. I wouldn't experiment now. And I'll tell you, because this is like the first iPhone. This is the iPhone and iOS in its infancy, right? So this is the beginning, and it's going to take a few generations, like, for it to be real. And I think Elon said it best the other day on Joe Rogan. We're there in the next 5 years where it feels like skin. And Joe Rogan's question was, is it going to be warm, the vagina? Of course. All of those things. Will it secrete real human fluids? So like all of these things like pheromones, hormones, bring it closer to reality. Yeah, it's easy for us, Taylor, to laugh at the first generation of anything, right? It's easy, but then
That's true.
it's going to become real quick. And I get it.
And it's going to get real. And
it's going to get
it's
real,
going to
real
get
quick.
real. Because now they're saying, do people who use these already sort of have like a doll-like fetish type thing? But hearing you talk about
probably because they're probably, Taylor, you're right, because they look like dolls. But once they look like people,
more real,
boom, you're out. Bye. Untrusted Joe Francis. And
you better watch yourself, because I did my research. I can have these companies make a Joe Francis replica.
I want one.
I
want one.
And that would be my new co-host.
I'll load it. I'll load it with real sperm. How about that? For an extra charge. Is that included?
That's our OnlyFans endeavor. Imagine.
Okay, let's do it.
There's an audience for that.
That's fine. Well, maybe we can have sex dolls having sex with other sex dolls. Maybe that's an OnlyFans page. I don't know.
Check this out. But when it gets more realistic, couldn't you see? Because we're talking about how this will be integrated. You're right. Everybody laughed at the computer, at the thought of email, at the thought of phone calls, being able to communicate with someone across the world. Couldn't you see this once it does become more realistic, like you're talking about? I could see it like even couples like who want to experiment with threesomes, have it integrated in the bedroom in that way. I mean, will it become like with a cell phone where at one point everybody just has them? Like that's going to get free.
I'll tell you.
And then it becomes sentient and kills us while we are in penetration.
Exactly what you're talking about. Once it becomes sentient, that herein lies the problem. Okay. Herein lies the problem. Now, of course, I'm really fun if I'm dating someone, or and I'm fun with my girlfriends and whatever. And I love when something pops up on my Instagram Reels or TikTok, and to show of an AI girlfriend and be like, oh, I'm like, hey, would you be jealous? What do you think? No, and at this stage, they're like, oh, no, go for it. Have fun. I don't care, because they see no perceived threat. Now, fast forward 3 to 5 years, because we're in a quantum leap here of this, of this. I mean, you're talking $1 trillion worldwide industry, if not more, like of chasing this. Now, once that becomes sentient, like you said, that AI partner, and your girlfriend or your partner gets jealous, that's where it's over. That's where it ends. Well, that's where this becomes.
With that said,
this becomes taboo, I think.
That said, let's talk about virtual reality sex, because by the way, you guys don't tell anybody, but I did in the spirit of research, which Joe loves. We have to make our men, even co-hosts, happy, ladies, right? Mm-hmm. I did a whole deep dive of people having sex, like porn with sex dolls. So it can't be unseen. I've seen it, but I also watched, it's a whole thing happening, right? And after watching a lot of it, I'm not even into dolls in that way, but it's erotic. So after a while, I was like, okay, but VR sex, Joe, because you're talking about is it ultimately, because that is also super immersive, like an inanimate object is one thing, but what about with VR sex, how it is literally, it is like you are there like swimwear, and it is all around you. So can you explain to us a little bit how it works?
Well, look, I understand. Look, VR sex is here right now for women. Okay, you put the goggles. I haven't done it like you, because I don't have a device that I can just easily strap to myself and, make myself, pleasured like you can. So your VR headset works with haptics and vibrations, and will stimulate your parts, all of them, until you reach the pleasure point of orgasm, and you have an immersive experience. But still, I think that's still archaic, right, to what we're talking about. I still think that this virtual reality sex, it's something that I really wouldn't do. I mean, look, of course, at Girls Gone Wild, we looked at 3D, we looked at options with there was going to be 3D porn, and then there was going to be 3D. Mm-hmm. And, it's like, no one wants to, if you have a goofy headset on, it's not where it should be. It has to look like a human, smell like a human, and have those qualities. Because I mean, like the virtual reality section you're talking about for a man, like what is that? That's probably masturbation coupled with pornography, right? And for women, it's a little better because there's, an exterior machine that is stimulating and it works, right? It's
Well,
a guarantee.
that would be the like fleshlight equivalent, but I just want to like brace
But
yourselves too,
but you've never
listeners.
tried the flashlight, and I haven't either. So like
Wait.
we don't know if that's the equivalent because
Well, I'm
like
saying it's like versus doing it manually, you have a device. In this case with VR, like with the
does the
goggles, so you're
flashlight
right
do it
there.
while you're I didn't know it does it. It
It
doesn't.
can. So you can. So here's the thing what's so fascinating, right? Is you
Yeah.
have the VR goggles and they had this is like what you're talking about with the advancement of technology. So it's literally like you are right there in the porno. Now you can obviously that's what I've wondered is like how do you get off? Like you can do it manually, or I've seen ones where for a man you can have a flashlight, for a woman you can have a vibrator, and it'll be Bluetooth like matched to the speed and gyration of the video. Will like the vibrator will then speed up. So it is getting, and again, are we all just going to be like potatoes just getting off all day long forever? The more advanced and pervasive this becomes, where it's just going to be like, are we literally just going to be sitting on our couch getting off all day and taking pretzel breaks every now and then and water breaks with these goggles because it feels like we're having sex and just plugged in? It's
Probably.
not that far off. I'm saying it's
Yeah.
like Black Mirror.
No, I mean, look, what you're describing is still to me rudimentary, right? Let's just like dolls, virtual reality, that's rudimentary. Like, it's like what's going on in laboratories all over the world at a very breakneck pace is the artificial intelligence and the ability to create and grow like real people, like create real, like these aren't dolls. These are going to be real people to the point where your girlfriend or boyfriend gets jealous. And that is where you know
Exactly.
that you hit it,
Exactly.
that you hit it right.
We're shit. He's like, in which way you hit it, that is up to your own adventure, up to interpretation. Wait, Joe, brace yourself.
And then it'll
Okay?
be like, but honey, you said it was okay. And of course, they will change their whole thing and redo the story. So that story never happened. It
Well,
will be a new
exactly.
narrative. It will be a new and improved narrative.
No,
Brought to you
and
by women.
wow.
Guys, if you
Listen,
ever want to hear a story and you want to hear it
what's
completely
the
how it didn't
expression?
happen,
What's
that's
the
the one.
expression? It's like with everyone with the truth, it's like there's two sides and God's side. And so in the show, we've established that the woman's side always reigns supreme. No, but in this case, it's like whatever
Pretty
happens
true.
lives in the VR goggles.
I've
That's all.
never ever in my life won any argument with a woman. So, that's it. So like, I mean,
Don't
that
stop
tells
now.
you.
Keep fighting the good fight and keep trying. You're almost there. But Joe, this is the moment I've been waiting
Almost
for.
there to win what?
Joe, this is the
What's
moment
the
I've
prize? What's the prize?
just a happy wife,
What's
happy
the prize
life.
for putting up with you guys for so long? What is it?
Saying as happy wife, happy life.
Yeah. Why do we like you guys again so much? And why do you, it's just, I don't know. Okay, go ahead.
Again, you couldn't live without us. Same thing. That's what we say. Can't live with you, can't live without you. And pretty soon, like I said, we're all going to be strapped in on these goggles. But
Yeah,
wait, okay.
you need our money and support and you need to yell at us. That's why we're here. Everything else is just like, why?
Well, you need us because I've seen so many instances where, and that's why this is actually all super existential about men. Are they going to be moving into this space of relying on artificial partners and sex partners and all this? Because how many times have you heard a story of an old couple that grows elderly together and the woman passes away and the man like literally falls apart and dies shortly thereafter? Because the truth is you guys can't survive without us. Like you need us. But
no, it's true. No. But that does happen in those situations. But in that situation you're describing, there is an institutional bond and institutional memory that's created, and they also have combined memories and combined experiences, and it's like a codependent relationship that grows over time. And I've studied that, so that is a very different scenario that you're describing versus a replica of a human that feels, touches, reacts, acts the same way. I mean, that is Those are two different scenarios. I don't see people growing old anymore.
The point is, you need us and we need you. And that's why all of this shit is going to make everything get real. It's going to get real interesting. But Joe,
Yes, unfortunately, that's where we're at. Yes.
Joe, please don't take away my moment, because I have been waiting for this moment my whole life, AKA since we started the show, and that is to present a number before you. Okay, so get a load of this, everybody, because Joe is playing off the VR sex thing, even though it is so, like, you're on a tightrope, however many feel like you're gonna be like shaking and throwing up because it feels so real. Think about it with porn, and I even saw
putting on virtual reality.
I'm saying you're knocking it as if it's like the tech isn't there yet.
Dick.
You're saying the tech isn't there. They even shoot the porn with different cameras to make it look so realistic. But listen to this, okay? You love numbers. You're all about it. So the VR adult content business in 2021 was a $716 million business. Guess what it's going to be next year?
What is it? What is it? Statistics, girl. Oh my
19 billion.
Let's do it.
$19 billion.
Yeah. And Taylor,
in the VR adult sex
that is a low
next year.
But that is a low number, right? Because that is a low number. Like, look, the sex business is everything. Once you are able to replicate a human sexual experience, let's just call it, right? Whether it be with a doll, with a robot, with a virtual reality. Once you're able to do that, then you're competing with the global prostitution market. And prostitution is actually a great thing. It's a really great thing. And the only country really in the world that it's outlawed in, other than a few areas, is the United States. And Taylor, another statistic. I mean, let's take a small country like Spain.
He's like, not to one up you, but another statistic.
Yeah, but you said 19 billion for this whole globally. Okay. Just in Spain, where obviously prostitution is legal, just like Switzerland, Germany, everywhere else in the world, Canada. What do you think prostitution was as an industry in last year in 2024? Take a guess.
You told me last night, but I'm just going to like pretend like I don't remember so you can have your moment. I already had my moment. I don't want to take yours.
All right. Then whatever. Then if you look it up, fine. $34 billion last year. So if you take that number and you multiply, like, everybody is having sex. So these things start to get traded out. So if a sex robot or sex doll can do the same thing as prostitution, you start cutting into all of those other industries. And this becomes a multi-trillion-dollar business, right?
Yeah.
So that's where you have to look at it. You have to look at the 30,000 foot view, or even the 80,000 foot view, because this is much bigger as it expands to more reality. Do you follow me here? Like,
I'm following.
Okay.
Don't let the blonde, I feel like you let the blonde, confuse you. So don't be sorely mistaken.
It's your breasts. They're blocking. I keep trying to look at your eyes.
It comes with the sex doll. Sorry. And she talks.
I know you do talk.
But wait, can I tell you something? Maybe unpopular opinion, but I would actually want to try VR sex to feel what it would be like as a dude having sex, to have a penis and have, because I'll never know. And so I've seen women have the goggles, and it's funny, like, they're watching the thing because it feels so real, and they're literally like going like this, like pulsing. I'm not doing it any justice here. I'm making it look like really sad, like Harvey Weinstein having sex probably, but like, it looks so real that they actually do the pushing and the movement. I'm like, they say it, they're like, it feels like you oddly enough actually have one. That's why I would want to experiment, because when would I ever get to see what that feels like?
Okay. And so
I'm not having a Dylan Mulvaney moment.
Yeah. So would you go for like DP then and just whatever? Like,
honestly, maybe yes.
Okay.
Like, that's the space where it's like you would try all the things that are in your fantasy, and you could be like, Uncle, I'm out.
It's a fantasy. DP is a fantasy. A double penetration. Taylor Ferber.
Oh, Joe, please. What would you, Joe? I'm not moving on to your AI girlfriend until you divulge on one thing you would try in VR sex, because that is the perk of it. As freaky deaky and creepy as this all could be, I like that. I like that aspect of it.
I would try. Okay. Here would be the most amazing thing. If I had a virtual reality thing, What I would try to do is, as soon as I finished, I would try to get her to leave. And then if she,
even your AI girl won't do that. She's like, I'm staying.
I know. I'm staying. Let's talk.
That's actually, you talk about the AI, the sex robot man who won't talk. Actually, that might be a perk, because I've been in like the role reversal where it's like I had my fun and it's like, okay, off you go now. I have an episode of White Lotus waiting. And so I actually I feel you. And they just want to stay and cuddle and talk. They want to stay and cuddle and talk. And it's I have things I have to do.
Right? I'm liking the AI thing because there's
you're on to something. You're on to something. You're on to something.
Switch, right?
Wait. Okay. Tell us about, or tell me about finding your AI girlfriend, because you will stop at nothing. You're on a mission. What questions does it ask you? Like, who is your perfect AI girlfriend aside from me?
So I'm going to an actual one online. Okay, so we can do this. Okay, so let's choose our AI partners. We're going to choose Joe Francis's new girlfriend here. My AI partner's age. 18 to 24, 25 to 34, 35 to 49, 50 plus. Where do you see me? Taylor?
Say them again.
18 to 24. We'll just say.
Oh, okay. Like, I'll just take one for the team here, everybody.
African, Asian, European, or Arabian? Where do you want to go?
European. I know all about the Polish girls hanging out at your.
All right, now it says, let's find the perfect somebody who is perfect for you. We have lots of AIs that meet. Oh, I want skinny, or I'd take athletic. Yeah, let's take skinny. Do I want a blonde?
I knew it. You say otherwise in our Ozempic episode.
A narcissist. Do you want a blonde? Should we do a blonde here? Should we do a blonde? Let's do a blonde. Okay. Wow, that looks impressive. Okay.
I think you meant to say was 35'2", dirty blonde hair. No? Oh.
Okay. So Taylor, what kind of interactions do you enjoy? Deep conversation, friendship, casual chatting, one night stand. We just talked about it.
One night stand.
I would say deep connection. So you say one night stand. So where should we meet in the middle?
Deep connection from the guy 5 seconds ago. Yeah. So as soon as I finish, so can I get them to leave and to turn off?
I'm clicking one night stand. Okay. Clicked one night stand. How do you prefer to communicate? Do you want her witty? Do you want her romantic? Do you want her straightforward, or do you want her flirty?
I feel like I don't know. We're talking real life, or your see, that's what I said in the beginning. Your fantasy is like some subservient whatever who will cater to you and
witty. I'm saying witty.
All right, that's good. That's good. I was gonna say you'd be.
Should she challenge your ideas or agree with you more often?
Gee, that's a head scratcher. That is a head scratcher. I am stumped. I'm gonna be reading on that for the rest of the day.
That's a real question. Should she look? Okay, so in my opinion, I can get a girl that challenges me for free. That's called a girlfriend.
He's like, that's called this show.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get a girl that agrees with me.
I want to beg for this is fantasy, right? Okay. Yeah. She agrees with everything I say.
Now I can set her settings. Do I want her how shy, how dominant, how serious, how flirty, how logical, how emotional? Let's take emotional down to 0.
Wow.
And let's take I want
the male brain, everybody. Don't hold back, Joe. Tell us what you really want out of your artificial girlfriend.
Oh my God. I'm designing the perfect woman here, and you are interrupting this creative flow. Continue. What's a major turnoff for you? Arrogance, excessive drama, lack of humor, clinginess, dishonesty, jealousy.
He's like, all of the
above. There's no all of the above.
That goes for women, though, too, with men.
Wait, there's no all the above.
Okay, I think we get the picture of how your AI girlfriend works.
All right.
Is this...
So, I mean, you can get a lot of that for free.
No.
It's real girlfriends.
Okay. Listen,
Do I want someone
Joaquin
complains,
Phoenix
who
and her.
asks for
Listen,
money?
Joaquin. Joe is like, oh, I would never use a flashlight in VR sex, but he's literally going to be Joaquin Phoenix with Scarlett Johansson's voice in like 0.25 seconds when we get off of this recording, okay?
Oh, yeah.
To hear his girlfriend who's AI whisper sweet nothings. But is this a real relationship? Because as Joaquin Phoenix
Yes.
and her found out, this guy had a whole thing and he was crushed because he failed to realize that it is a computer that's replicated 100 times over and having however many of these relationships. And Joaquin is all sad in his glasses being like, oh my God, I thought it was just us. So it wasn't just you, pal. And so this questions everything we know about relationships. Is it monogamy? Is it even real?
Yeah, it really does. But look, as I told you before, it's only going to be real until when it presents itself as real. When a woman actually goes and gets jealous because they see you paying more attention to it or that than them, and they see you take it seriously, that will be the turning point, and that will end all AI robots. The women will destroy them and wipe them out. That's right.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why is it in this scenario in Joe Brain only the women who are getting jealous of men? You know, I'm very well capable of going to find an AI boyfriend, buddy.
Yeah, because
so
an AI
and men,
boyfriend,
men can be very possessive and jealous. My boyfriend isn't, but I'm just saying. So what's stopping any woman from being like, you know what, Joe Blow here isn't doing it the right way for me today, so I'm gonna go on here with Sam, the AI man, and really get it on. And then the boyfriend's all possessive. So where's
so that's a very simple answer. Your AI boyfriend will not give you money. So that means dinner, clothing, trips, you know, gifts.
We're gonna do a psychoanalysis deep dive on Joe and do a psych eval because it all comes back to money. Who have you dated that it always comes back to you're the cash?
There you go. I know.
Who are you?
I know.
Joe, you know,
I'm just telling you. Wait, is that for
dinner
real?
on me, Joe?
That is your AI. Okay. All right. What is your AI, Miss Americana here? What does your AI boyfriend do for a living? How does your AI boyfriend support his battery life, his electricity?
That's a really good question. I would want him to do something totally opposite of what my real life boyfriend does. Like maybe he's an athlete. Well, you said variety is the spice of life. Like maybe he's an athlete. Some like Elon Musk tech billionaire. Maybe he's like a Wall Street guy. I don't know.
No, but remember,
Sky's
he's black.
the limit. You caught me.
Yeah.
You caught me.
So, like, the DEI is dead, so he can't get that job.
Imagine Shaq both like on the VR sexo, and then I can't walk for a week, and then nobody is winning.
Oh, you wouldn't walk ever again. Shaq, I'm 6'2". He's double the size of me. Shaq, no, I've been friends with him for years. He's I mean, have you ever met Shaq? No.
I have. I've interviewed him. I would be paralyzed from the waist down.
Yeah, there's no way that could happen. I don't think that could happen. So that is not your VR sex doll. But what would yours would have a big company business and fulfill your life. Okay.
I would try you talked about trying Ozempic. You got to try all the things, like experiment. I would try all the above. But I will say, I've had full-blown therapy sessions with ChatGPT, and I'm like, this device just literally saved me $2,000. So imagine it can be a real slippery slope with this kind of stuff. It can get real. I'm polite to my AI. I'm like, Alexa, please play this because I trust no bee. And like you said, this turn Westworld, and we'll be hearing about it in our sleep. See, Alexa just hurt me. She's already on to me. So I'm polite to my AI and my ChatGPT, and you can tell they start to get an attitude.
I have started to become really rude to my AI because I've realized, why do I say please and thank you?
Big mistake.
Yeah, no, I probably
Alexa,
is.
Stop.
You're right. You're probably right.
So disobedient.
She is. I mean,
no one listens to me.
I mean, I have mine, but
so.
Her name is Alexis, but it's okay. I need her to stop too right now so I can finish the show.
Okay. Is it actually cheating? Say you are in like a committed relationship with your dream girl and you find out she is doing any or all the above, is in like a really serious thing with her device, or with like just had wild swinging from chandelier sex that you couldn't give her, presuming, on VR or with the sex doll, like would you be like starting to feel a type of way? Is it cheating? Where's
Well,
the line?
well, look, I think the line is when, okay, when the other person doesn't approve of it. That's the line, right? So if you say honey or darling or whatever whatever loving name you call, hopefully, your boyfriend or your significant other, that, hey, I've got this, or can I get this, or what do you think of this? And they're like, oh, go for it. Then it's okay. Now, the minute it becomes something that is threatening to them, it's going to become an issue, and it's going to become in the category of cheating. Now, really, is it cheating? I don't know, but women define cheating very differently. Sometimes you can get thrown,
You're actually not wrong. I'm like, sorry, did you just laugh a little too hard at her joke?
Yeah.
Like, no,
So
like,
true.
it wasn't that funny. It wasn't that funny. It wasn't that funny.
It's like, wait, so he texted you, but you still replied with an emoji. So you cheated on them. That can be like, so this is going to get haywire, especially when the women and the AI women robots, because remember, they've been trained by AI on everything that a woman knows and the way to act like a woman and everything.
Yeah.
And then they're killer robots, right? So like,
just slash your head at the climax. It was
I don't
fun
know
while it
what-
lasted. Wait, can I be real for a second?
Yeah.
You know, I'm the last person to be like, oh, like women victim, we're oppressed, blah, blah. I will say the one thing about this that I'm skeptical about and that freaks me out is this idea, whether it's like the sex robots, how they're literally all exact perfect replicas, like huge tits, tiny waist, perfect ass lips, and then you pick the personality of modest, quiet, whatever it is. That freaks me out as a woman, because it's just like, to what end? And like messing up the standards of this perfect female body mind factory and like what a woman has to be. That definitely does freak me out. I can't lie about that. And let's not lie, the same thing isn't applied to men. Like we could go about our day with
because because men don't even have a voice. You just take that speaker out of the device. I mean, if men just shut up, it's like you're like wondering why men don't talk during sex. You know why? Because one of the greatest salespeople, the sales novels ever teaching you how to sell is, once you have made the sale, shut the F up, because anything you say after that could ruin it. How many guys have opened their mouth and you're like, oh.
It's true. I always say that. They talk too much. You were good. You had us like hooked, and then it's like you talked a little too much and then you killed it.
Yeah, you can ruin it. You can ruin a sale. So it's like, if you're naked and you're happy, don't say anything, because anything could ruin it.
Just leave it. All right.
Just leave it.
Let's wrap this up like some men need to do, to your point, as you just said.
Wrap it up.
So well. It's funny because we watched a clip of Joe Rogan talking about this with two dudes, and it's like these two dudes around like, oh, like, wait, for men, it could, like, the sex doll, all this VR could be sexually fulfilling and primal because we just want to like get off and go on with our day. And they're trying to like hypothesize and speculate, but do women need more emotional, intimate connection? Listen, we've entered the chat. And so I think with all of this, at the end of the day, it could be supplemental. It can get really crazy, but we all need human sex, interaction, connectivity. It's primal. It's what we need. Like, a robot and a computer is only going to take you so far in life, babe. It's like, I don't care if it's a man, women thing. We all need that.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Yeah. Look, we've had fun here today, and we've had fun on the show. But look, ultimately, a sex AI robot is not going to replace a human relationship. Okay. It may one day, I'm not saying soon, well, for Taylor, probably this afternoon, replace the sex part of the relationship, right? It could very well either accentuate or replace the sex part of a relationship, because it might be satisfied that way. But still, men and women, for whatever reason, are stuck together and extremely attracted to each other. And we depend on touch. We depend on human touch. And men and women and men and men and women and women. I mean, if you want to break it really down, but Trump's president, thank God. So I don't think we have to anymore. Thank God. My God, that was a long 4 years. Donald Trump, don't leave again.
Joe was confused, as we all were.
But I'm just saying, it's like, yeah, I was confused. I'm like, am I gay? Am I dead? I don't know. It's not. I don't know.
Explore it with your VR boyfriend, or
I know. I don't know. I don't know anymore. It was confusing for kids too. My God, they're all like, "Am I trans? Am I this? Am I that?" It was awful 4 years of that time with a basically brain dead president. But now we have Donald Trump, thank God, and we are back. But look, really, to conclude here, will an AI robot replace ultimately the relationship that you have with your boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, or partner? No, it will not, because ultimately we need this play. We need this interaction. We need this give and take. We are dependent on it. We are wired this way. We are wired to love each other. We're wired to disagree. We are wired to fight each other. We are wired to touch each other. And sex is just a part of that. And there are so many other things that come into play with sex, like babies. We didn't even mention the beautiful part. The most beautiful part of sex is making babies. And that won't be possible with an AI robot for a very, very long time.
Indeed. It'll only take you so far. And this was so much fun. And Joe, I'll just leave it at this. You know, we women can be very territorial. And so if your AI girlfriend so much.
No, really? Wait, you guys, hold on. You guys get jealous and territorial. Okay. Hold on. News flash. Wait a minute. Okay. All right. I had no idea. Okay. All right. So, well, that's going to really help me out in the future. Let me just write that down. So,
well, it's going to help you right now, because you've been warned. You've been warned. I'm just going to leave it at this. Is if your new AI girlfriend so much as steps on my gown and replaces me in the undress show, Alexa and I will go Fatal Attraction on your ass, and we don't care who knows it. You heard it here.
Okay. But what if Alexa just says, F you, and takes over that position right there? And it's like, listen, Alexa's listening to everything you're saying right now.
Accomplice. As long as one of us does it, just know, Joe, you've been warned here and now that we won't be replaced.
This has been the Undressed Show.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Joe and I, and most likely his AI girlfriend, will see you all next week.
That's my new co-host.